Send it to me first, and then we'll see where it fits best
Perfect.
on the agenda. Okay.
Okay, Dan, that's what we can do. Okay.
Who are we missing? Phil just rejoined us.
Phil. Morning, Patty. Oh, taxes are due, eh?
Paid.
I threw mine in the box outside.
I went to the bank. I got to go pay at Joanne's, and that's it.
Okay, morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We'll begin with our land acknowledgement. We'd like to begin by acknowledging the land on which we gather, in which the Township of Severn operates, is part of the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples have been inhabiting and caring for this land. In particular, we acknowledge the territory of the Ojibwe or Chippewas peoples. This territory is covered by the Lake Simcoe Treaty 16 and the J. Collins land purchase. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, give our respect to its first inhabitants. We'll have a moment of reflection, please. Thank you. Disclosure of pecuniary interest.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Cox.
I have one in corporate services. The grant for the special projects. I'm a member of the BIA, and the BIA applied for a grant.
Thank you. Councillor Jansen, do you have one as well?
I do. It's for the same reason. I'm on the BIA, and there's a grant request from the BIA.
Thank you. Any others? No. Okay. Thank you. Public meetings, none. Presentations, none. Consent agenda. Does any member of council want to remove any of the consent agenda items? Councillor Brennan, are you okay? I don't see you.
Yes, I'm fine. I can see all of you and hear you. I'll use the reaction button. Thank you.
Thank you. So seeing none, Madam Clerk, do you have a motion?
Certainly, the motion reads that the agenda be adopted, including consent items as circulated.
Thank you. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Jansen, second by Deputy Mayor Cox. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Correspondence, G 2.1, County of Simcoe, Municipal Partnership and Creation of Affordable Rental Development. Any discussion?
Oh, no, Your Worship, we dealt with those under consent.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Moving on to adoption of the regular agenda, reports from officials, administration, and administration report 823-020, Economic Development Strategy. And I'm not sure who wants to speak to that.
I don't know if Ms. Roxborough is around, but I guess if you have questions.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Cox.
Yeah, I think this is great that we're going to do this, but there is one part on it where it talks about the analysis and the 4 phases and collecting business and market data. And I want to ensure that these consultants consult with council members and staff for the best way to consult with residents, and to ensure that different groups, business groups and the BIA and those types of organizations and the fair groups are all consulted, so that we all can put forth our information. And I think that if we all discuss a good way that we may be able to help the firm get answers from different organizations, then that's what we should do to help. My other one was, we were talking about economic development, and I was thinking about the fairgrounds in Coldwater, Otis Park, I know, which is not ours, and Centennial Park, which is ours, that those 2 parks that we own need to be part of this economic development, because I think if they are promoted as event areas, which they both are. They could be, they have parking, they are close to downtowns. In Coldwater, there is a community center if you needed an indoor venue, and you have lots of room. So I really believe that that could be an economic driver for the areas that those parks are in, the villages and hamlets that they are in. So I just wanted to put that forward so that I don't forget and the consultants know, and Tracy can pass that on. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to say anything towards it, Tracy? Thank you.
Yeah. Mayor Burkett and members of council, thank you. Sorry about that. I was having some video problems, so I had to jump off and then jump back on. So in terms of the, I guess the report itself, so this is, of course, in regard to your strategic plan. So council had identified the development of an economic development strategy as a priority for council this term. So at the March 22nd meeting, the CAO had brought forward a report for your approval to develop an RFP and to then release that RFP and come back with a recommendation for a consultant and for what that process would look like. So I worked with the CAO to develop the RFP, and just in response to Deputy Mayor Cox's comments, we've been very specific within the RFP what our expectations are in regards to consultation with the community. So you may recall Councillor Jansen, the Seg Bay Chamber of Commerce provided a letter of support for this project for some grant funding that we are trying to secure, as well as the Aurelian Area Development Corporation. So we're going to be working with agencies within that sector, including the BIA within Severin, to really ensure that we're reaching out to the appropriate leaders and members of our community to get the feedback that we know we need for this type of project. Some of that consultation will include 4 in-person or virtual sessions, an online survey, one that is specifically targeted toward business members, as well as one that is a value-added service that is to try and engage the youth in our community. As well, there will be interviews. So there will be one strategic planning session with council and with staff. The consultant will also be meeting with each department head and members of council one-on-one to get your feedback on this process. And then, as well, the consultant will be coming back to council corporate services committee 3 times, once with a report initially that provides a summary of kind of the initial review and analysis, the data that is going to be captured through this project. Phase 2 will be some of the results acquired from the consultation process, and then report 3 will then be the final strategy. So you'll be involved the entire way through, as well as there'll be opportunities for the community to participate in this process. So then just, moving on towards the actual, what I'm asking from you today in terms of the report, is just the approval to then move forward with awarding this project to the consultant that did have the highest score through the evaluation criteria, but was not necessarily the lowest bidder, but did come out on top in terms of the actual proposal that was submitted. So I hope that kind of answers some of the questions. It is a pretty comprehensive proposal, and that is available still publicly online. So of course we can direct you to that if you'd like to take a closer look at it. But, part of this process is, of course, engaging with council, engaging with the community, and keeping you updated along the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Cox.
Through the chair to Tracy, thank you very much. That's just an assurance that I would like, and I'm glad we have that everybody will be involved. Thank you again.
Councillor Minnings.
Thank you through the chair to Tracy. Are there grant monies available through the county or provincially to help with funding and enhancing this RFP or this proposal and work that we have committed to?
So we have, Mayor Burkett and to Councillor Minnings, we have submitted a grant earlier this year to the Rural Economic Development Funding Program. So that is actually a program that is funded through the provincial government. So that's something we're still awaiting to hear on, but we have, heard positive feedback, although there is in any grant, there's competition, but if we are successful with that grant, that would offset the cost of this by $25,000.
Councillor Brennan, did you have anything because we can't see you, did you have any comments or questions?
No, nothing to add there. I'm quite happy with the report as presented. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any further comments? Just one thing, Tracy, I'm just curious if there would be any merit in it, and I just wanted to ask, because we're such a small township and our neighbors, whether we're east, west, north, or south, or even the county, would the consulting firm reach out to those different townships and the county as well to see what they're doing? And because we don't want to duplicate what's already done, but see what they're doing and see if that helps us to move forward with this economic development strategy.
Well, Mayor Burkett, thank you for your comments and questions. So this is kind of complementary to the development of the economic development strategy, and through your strategic planning process, council had identified also that we should be looking at how we can best or work with partner agencies and other organizations that are working within this sector to ensure exactly that we're not duplicating efforts and that there's a good understanding of who is responsible for what within the region. So even this week, tomorrow, I have my biannual, I have 2 meetings a year with the Economic Development Office for the County of Simcoe, and we talk and see how we can, work together, see if there's any opportunities for collaboration. So that will continue. And because I also sit on the Economic Development Committee for the County of Simcoe, as well as this small regional committee that is comprised of Rama, Ormodonte, Ramera, the Aurelia area CDC, and the city of Aurelia, they've all agreed to be part of this process. So we'll be getting their feedback. They'll providing some direction, some support throughout this process. So I think that, we're trying to really, through the process, understand, what our capacity is and how we can utilize and, work together with others in the region that are actively working in this space, and ensure that we're not, of course, duplicating efforts, and that the strategy that comes out at the end is realistic and scaled for Severn.
Thank you very much. It sounds perfect. Any further comments? Okay, Madam Clerk, do you have a motion?
I do. Thank you. The motion reads that Administration Report number A23-020 dated May 3rd, 2023, regarding the Economic Development Strategy request for proposal be received, and that Council approves the selection of Explorer Solutions to prepare Severn's Economic Development Strategy in the amount of $65,670 plus HST. And for that, staff be directed to award the request for proposal for an Economic Development Strategy to Explorer Solutions, and for that, the project costs of $65,670 plus HST be funded through the capital reserve.
Thank you. A mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Minnings. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. New business, verbal report from myself, servicing strategy. So last month we applied to the province as they reached out to us looking at areas that we would maybe like to see our settlement boundary areas expanded. So this is just part of it. So as part of that motion, I would just like to add, we will also be looking or exploring for opportunities as to how we may service this. And I'm not asking for a staff report now, but just to add that to the motion so the province understands that, yes, we're looking at that area, but also possibly looking at ways to service it as well. Any questions? Thank you. Madam Clerk, do you have a motion?
I do. The motion reads, whereas Council supported Lift Community's request to pursue a settlement area designation for the South of Division Road secondary plan area, and whereas servicing for this proposed settlement area will be of the utmost importance, and whereas the servicing strategy for the area in question was developed a number of years ago when the South of Division Road secondary plan was approved, be resolved that staff be directed to investigate updated servicing options for that area.
Any questions? Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor Cox, second by Councillor McIntyre. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. General bylaws, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Motion reads that the bylaws number 2023 through 2023-33 to 2023-36 inclusive be and are hereby read a first, second, third time and finally passed.
Any discussion? Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Jansen, second by Councillor Minnings. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Any announcements? No announcements. Did you want to announce the money, or Councillor Jansen? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Burkett. I just want to touch on two important dates that had just passed. One of them is the Day of Mourning, which takes place every year on April the 28th. It's there to recognize people that are workers that have lost their lives in the workplace, as well as commit to a safer workplace for all. And I know that here at Severn, we have our own workforce and staff, and I know that we are committed to upholding a safe work environment for all. I'd also like to acknowledge that International Workers' Day took place on May the 1st, and just show my appreciation to all the township staff as well as all the workers here in Severn Township. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Jansen. Deputy Mayor Cox, do you want to maybe say a few words about the euchre game and how much the Lions?
Oh, I can do that. Yes. The Lakota Lions had a euchre tournament on a euchre party on this past Saturday night, and Mayor Burkett and Dan both came to it, and we raised over $3,100 for the Lions Club to put back into our community, which they always do. And also on May 27th, there is the Coldwater Duck Race, and everyone is welcome to attend. The parade's at 12:30, and the duck race is at 2, and it's all on the main street.
Thank you. And just if anyone's attending, I do buy ice cream cones out of my own pocket. And Katie brings her parents, and I have to buy for both parents as well.
And friends.
And friends. Thank you. Any other announcements? No closed session. Confirmation bylaw, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Motion reads that bylaw number 2023-37 be and is hereby read a first, second, third time and finally passed.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Jansen. All in favor? That is carried. Brings us to adjournment. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Motion reads that this meeting being is here now adjourned at 9:17 a.m.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor McIntyre, second by Councillor Jansen. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much, everyone.
Have a great day. Take care.